What's good, people? So, you've watched my video about general releases, and now you want to know about premium Bandai exclusives. Or maybe you didn't even watch that first video. Well, here's what I got for you. Premium Bandai exclusives are just another way for Tamashii nations to make figures more expensive than they actually should be. Now, a lot of stuff, in my opinion, that's on the Premium Bandai website or that ends up as a Premium Bandai exclusive should not be a Premium Bandai exclusive. Now, you will see some general releases on the site, but I'm here to point out which ones are the Premium Bandai exclusives, and then later on in the video, we'll get into the different other types of exclusives. So first thing first, like for example, right, this is a Premium Bandai exclusive product, but the figure in of itself right here, this Goku that you see, which is the Games Begin Goku, which you can get for $38. This is like a bundle entry set. That's the only reason why I'm covering it. So you get your action figure stand, and you get, of course, the Goku figure, and as well, you do get the aura effect. So really, you're paying initially. This base figure is $38. Like I said, it's called the Games Begin S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Goku Games Begin. You know, hinting at him being specifically from the Cell Saga. But you get your two action figure stands, which you see, and you're getting the aura effect. That's really what's boosting this price at $70, and I don't really think it should be boosting it that much. But I guess you could say, I guess with all the plastic that you're technically getting, I guess. And also some Premium Bandai, so it's going to be a bit more expensive. Now that we've gotten that out the way, I just wanted to get that out the way because it's literally called the entry bundle set, and somebody might be interested in that. Let's get into the stuff that you can get right now, right? So first thing first, if you are new to Premium Bandai, new to this action figure line, luckily for y'all, not so long ago, we've gotten this reveal, which is Super Android 13, or as they're calling him, Fusion Android 13. This is $90 before shipping, and the pre-orders opened on the 6th. The scheduled shipping for this is October, so not to the end of the year that you'll see this. We'll go through the pictures real quick, and I'm going to try to be quick because this is going to be a very long video, you know. Something to note about the pricing of Premium Bandai products, and I'm going to use Super Android 13 as an example right here. A lot of times the pricing, the reason why it's expensive, well, more expensive than what you've seen with general releases and things of that nature, is because one, it's on Premium Bandai. Automatically going on Premium Bandai is going to be more expensive, but two, and I would say more importantly, something that was pointed out to me by my good man Cyrus, they do literal translations of the pricing. So you see this is $90, right? The price before shipping, before taxes and things of that nature, and yen is 9,000 yen. So you see it's a literal translation. It's not like whatever 9,000 yen translates to by way of conversion of currency. It's literally, they just changed the 9,000 yen to $90 US. So, and you'll see that a lot, particularly with Premium Bandai exclusive stuff, or I would say exclusive stuff in general. All exclusive figure products, you'll see that a lot. And also another thing to note with some exclusive stuff is you typically, what you'll see is like something that was at a Comic-Con. If it was a Comic-Con exclusive, which we'll get to that later in the video. Like, for example, Great Demon King Piccolo. This figure was one of last year's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It's the manga colors. They did a general release, which was the anime colors. This is the manga colors. It's $100, and sometimes you'll see the event exclusive stuff, which is what they call it, not con exclusives anymore. They used to call it con exclusives. It's still, I think it still may say con exclusive on some boxes, but either way, they count it as an event exclusive, right? Some of that stuff after the con is over, after the last day of the con, they'll tend to put this stuff up on Premium Bandai, but we'll get more into that later, you know, just going through the different characters that they had that they did that for. So this is another Premium Bandai exclusive that is available to you right now. Now, what is the advantage of buying from Premium Bandai? I would say the biggest advantage is that basically where you're going to see it the cheapest. Okay, so 165. So keep these prices in mind. Keep in mind that Super Android 13 was $90 on Premium Bandai. Keep in mind that this Dedoria and Zarbon, Bardock, the father of Goku, because this is going to be, playing off of that special. This is a 2-pack, by the way. Keep in mind that this is 165, and there goes your spread of accessories right there. Another one of the current Premium Bandai exclusives that's up is Bardock, the father of Goku. Now, they have released a Bardock figure in the past, but that was the non-battle damage version. This is the battle damage version, his final stand against Frieza and whatnot, and you're seeing the spread of accessories. Very light on the accessories, especially for a Premium Bandai, especially for that price point. It ships in August, and I just realized I forgot to show the shipping date for Zarbon and Dedoria. I'll probably, when I'm editing it, just edit the shipping date in there. That being said, we're gonna move on to Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, so now we're on Big Bad Toy Store, and we're on this site because one, the layout is pretty, but also it's to make a point. Now, the biggest thing about not ordering figures from Premium Bandai is two things, right, to go into. One, as you can see, it's more expensive, or rather you haven't seen yet, but the original price for this nail was $80. As you can see here, it's $134. And that's because they have to buy the figures just like how we do. So in order to make a profit, they gotta up the price. Not saying that you shouldn't order from Big Bad, they're a good toy store to order from, but for Premium Bandai stuff, if you could get it from the official site, go for it. Now, the trick to that is Premium Bandai doesn't ship everywhere. So a lot of times people have to come to a secondary marketplace and get those Premium Bandai exclusives, and they gotta pay like an arm and a leg, so to speak, and maybe they big toe too, so that's just something to keep in mind. We're gonna go through the rest of what's available from that was Premium Bandai exclusives on Big Bad Toy Store, and then we're just gonna hop into all the exclusives that you have missed, well, at least most of them that you've missed if you're just getting into it. But let's move on. Here we have Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Mini. Now, just off top, the original price for this, before taxes, shipping and handling, things of that nature, if you ordered it from Premium Bandai, the original price was $60. As you can see over here, it's $104.99. This is just to give you a point of reference, and I'll keep on hammering this point home. Matter of fact, not just Premium Bandai exclusives, any type of exclusive, the price is gonna go up if you're not able to get it at that original price. Any type of exclusive, unless people just really not feeling that exclusive, which I'll go into that as we go through the event exclusive stuff. But either way, let's move on. So what we have here is once again another Premium Bandai exclusive is Monster Zarbon. As you can see, $147.99. The original price for this was $85 on Premium Bandai. Yeah, I'm sure y'all getting the picture, and so I'm just gonna start speeding through this. Here we have the Healing Chamber. This was $95 on Premium Bandai. As you could see, $174.99 on Big Bad, and this is not to pick on Big Bad. Any place that you have to buy an event, like I said, any place you gotta buy any type of exclusive secondary market wise, is going to be more expensive, especially if you're dealing with something like eBay, where they'll really violate you. If it was an exclusive figure that costs like $80, for example, they'll jump that. They could jump it, depending on what it is, they'll jump that price up to $200, $300. Here is, of course, Elder Guru, right? On Premium Bandai, it was $310. That was already very expensive for a figure that barely moves. And here, as you can see, I'm pretty sure by the end of it, it'll be like $500. But $484.99. Yikes. Here's one of the more, I would say, reasonable price jumps, but still more expensive. Super Android 13. I'm bugging. Super Android 17. I think the original price was 90, 124 here. That's one of the least egregious. It's still a price jump though. Let's move forward. Of course, we have Diamond Wonderland right here. Super Saiyan 4 Mini Goku. The original price for this, 70 beans, $70. the price here, and like I said, this is not to pick on Big Bad, but $122.99. I only chose Big Bad because although they do up the prices, they are pretty good about having the figure in stock after it's released, you know? Now, how long it'll stay in stock will depend on the character, right? If it was a Broly figure, I can't imagine it being in stock for too long. And by the way, this figure dropped in December, so use that as a point of reference to see how long it has been in stock. Okay, so here's some stuff that we just looked at, right? $124.99 for Bardock. As we just saw, it was $75 on Premium Bandai. Now, of course, in some cases, you don't have much of a choice. Well, you do have a choice. You don't have to spend it. But if you want to participate in a hobby and you want your favorite character, like if your favorite character is Bardock and for whatever reason, Premium Bandai doesn't ship to your country, you have to use secondary market sites. And also, as a side note, another place to get Premium Bandai product, even though he's based in the Netherlands, and like if you live in the UK, for example, I think this would be a good shop for you. It's a shop called Zenkai Zone. Huge shout out to Zenkai Zone. If you watch one of my last reviews I did, which was the Toyotaro Ultra Instinct Goku, another figure we'll talk about later on in the video. It was thanks to him, the owner of that shop, that I got that figure, and I was able, we did a little partnership, and I just wanted to promote that shop again. But that shop is best if you live in the UK. You can use it if you live over here in the US, but that shipping gonna hurt you. But let's move forward. Here's another example of something that we just looked at not that long ago on Premium Bandai. Zarbon and Dedoria, $234.99 here. It was $165 on Premium Bandai. As you can see, quite the price increase. And I think the pre-orders, I think they have Super Android 13 here. So I think they have Super Android 13 here. But before we get to that or scroll to that, another once a Premium Bandai exclusive, and this came out a little while ago. Like this is where I get into, the popularity of the particular character. This was originally what, $60? As you can see, $99.99 for GT Pan. Definitely not the most popular character that people are clamoring for. So that's why it's still in stock, because this came out a little while ago, and for this to be like I said, a Premium Bandai exclusive and still be in stock, this shows you the lack of popularity for this particular version of the character. Here's a Premium Bandai exclusive that they have up for pre-order still. I'm surprised the pre-orders for this haven't closed already. But either way, the original price for this was $80 for this Krillin. Already, that was an overpricing. But as you can see here, $139. Let's just move forward. Okay, so this is the last thing I wanted to cover on the site, on any website, before we just get into, all the other different exclusives that you might have missed. I created a bunch of folders and organized a bunch of pictures and prices for all that. But Super 13, $90 on Premium Bandai, $156.99 on Big Bad. Well, all this being said, I was just using that to hammer home a point about, paying for these exclusive figures on the secondary market. It could be very rough. Now let's get into all the other exclusives. All right, so now we into past Premium Bandai exclusives that you might have missed, and what you will see on these pictures that I have put together is the original pricing. The point of me putting the original pricing is so if you decide to get any of these figures, you have a point of reference for how much you're overpaying. And to begin with, they might have been overpriced, But Gamma 1 and 2 was $70. A real selling point for these figures, I'll give my little commentary on some of these, and some of them we'll just I'll just state, hey, here's the figure, and that's the price, original price, and that's it. But for these two, they came with accessories for the Ultimate Gohan figure. You may have heard me talk about that if you watched the prequel video to this, which was the general releases. One, I forgot which one came with which, but one came with the base hair, and from Dragon Ball Superhero, the base hair for Gohan, and then one came with the Super Saiyan hair. And then I think the one that came with the base hair came with his cape. This is one of those that breaks my heart. So all these different versions of Frieza were all premium Bandai exclusives, and this is where I get into my little soapbox about stuff being premium Bandai exclusives that shouldn't be. The prices are whatever. Some of them are a bit more expensive than I would like, especially I would say like Cyborg Frieza and even third form Frieza, really. You could say for 100% Frieza too, because they're not super small figures like a child, but they are smaller figures because the character of Frieza is smaller. And the particular artwork that they referenced for third form Frieza, where you would think he would be huge, they used the Dragon Ball Superhero chart. They used that version of third form Frieza where they made him shorter. But as you can see, $90 for second form, $85 for the rest. The prices that you'll see now will probably be a lot more outrageous. This just really sucks because I feel like all of these should have been general releases because they appeared in the main story. Now we going way back. Now this is not in any particular order in terms of release date, just so y'all know. This is not in any particular order. But here are some of the first products that were ever on Premium Bandai, because prior to Premium Bandai, they had something called like web exclusives, and then they just consolidated it all into their own site. But we have Super Saiyan Blue Vegito and of course regular Zamasu. These figures, if you come across them or if you want them, I don't think they're worth picking up at this point in time because Super is coming back and they'll probably get updated sculpts and things of that nature. And it'll probably be, some of these will probably end up getting general releases, you know? So just keep that in mind with Super coming back. If you see anything from Super on Premium Bandai like this, or not on Premium Bandai, but if it was a prior Premium Bandai exclusive and you're trying to get it in the secondary market, consider that Super is coming back, and that it's very high likelihood that those figures will get upgraded if they haven't been done already. Once again, all Premium Bandai exclusives, you got Hit, which has never had a re-release. It had the one initial release on Premium Bandai, and that was it. Same thing, actually same thing for the rest of these as well. Tournament of Powers, Android 18 and 17. Kefla, which, lore fun fact, that Kefla figure is what inspired me to start this channel, because I just was not happy with that figure, and I felt like not enough people were talking about it at the time. But I wasn't really tapped into the community at the time like I am now. So let's move right along. Once again, a bunch of characters that appeared in the main story shouldn't have Premium Bandai exclusives. As you can see, Kid Gohan, which, oh yeah, don't even bother hunting that Kid Gohan down, because towards the beginning of this year, I think it was towards the end of last year, they revealed an updated version of this child Gohan. So well, I guess technically it's not the same one, but it's the same look. They revealed that updated version, so just wait for that. Whenever that's shown off or what have you, or announced with all the details, I'll cover that on the channel. But yeah, don't spend that kind of money. Here's Raditz Ten Shinhan. I expect that to get a re-release at some point, but you know, 80, 70, 52, there goes the original price points. Here's some more stuff from Dragon Ball Superhero. Pan was 50. Gohan Beast, at least this version of Gohan Beast that's comes with the special beam cannon, 65, which is actually a fairly priced figure, I think. Broly 70, Orange Piccolo 85. Something else that can influence the price of these is of course the size of the figure. Yeah, let's move forward. Now here is something very interesting. So Kui, yo, that picture I used for Kui Kui was $60. He was a premium Bandai exclusive, even though I know he only appeared in like one episode or like half a chapter in the manga. I feel like he should have been. I guess you could make a decent argument for him to be on premium Bandai because he's just such an obscure character. He's not anybody's favorite character that I know of. People know him from getting what's that move that Vegeta uses? Dirty Fireworks. That's how people remember him. He got blown up. That's a crazy way to be remembered. But Dedoria 78, Zarbon 68, Monster Zarbon, as I mentioned before, it was 85. And yeah, this is once again point of reference. As I mentioned before, I'm happy that we seeing all of this now because I just talked about it. But Nail, like I said, was 80. Elder Guru 310. That Krillin 80, and then of course Porunga was 300, and it came with a little dende. Some GT stuff. Pond was 60. GT Trunks, which I think was also in stock on Big Bad. Might have forgot to cover it, but 65 for Trunks, and then 90 for Super Android 17. And here's some more exclusive stuff. So real quick, Future Bombastic added in the video here. I just wanted to say my bad. I just realized that I included Kefla and Hit twice in this particular portion of the video. Kefla was 62, Hit was 60. This Vegeta from Dragon Ball Super Broly had, like, I think it did have a general release, or was it a web exclusive? So, but it ended up like they put out a survey for a figure that we'd like to see re-released, and the Vegeta won that survey. And when he got re-released, he was 70, I believe. Before, when he had his first initial release, it was like 50 something, if I'm not mistaken. Here is the Toyotaro Goku. I just recently reviewed, at least that was one of the most recent reviews I did on the channel. Check that out after you finish watching this video, of course. But the initial price for that was $80. Here we have some more stuff from Namek. You have that Namek Vegeta 65, or what was the name of that Vegeta figure? It was called Vegeta Battle Power 24,000 or something to that effect. Healing Tank 95, the old school armor, old style clothes Vegeta $60, and then that first apparent Super Saiyan Goku, which is actually what inspired this video, this whole two-part series to begin with, because initially I saw it sold out on Big Bad Toy Store, and the price on the Big Bad Toy Store was like $145 or something. It was something crazy. Maybe I dragged it. I'll have it pop up on the screen if I can find it. But it was a dramatic pricing, a super dramatic price increase, and it sold out on Big Bad before it did on Premium Bandai. And maybe you could say that's because of all the places that don't ship, that Premium Bandai doesn't ship to, so everybody immediately went to Big Bad. But on the off chance that you thought Big Bad was the only place to order from, always check Premium Bandai first, especially if you live in the US, right? If you live in the US, in certain parts of Asia, and if you live in Europe, but I think it says something about it's currently suspended, or service was currently down with Europe. When I went on the website. But either way, don't overpay like that. That broke my heart to see that it sold out on Big Bad before it did actually on Premium Bandai. That was crazy. But either way, here we have some more stuff, and just looking at this picture, man, I get annoyed because here we have a Metal Cooler, right? 120, super overpriced, and it was a grail amount. But either way, y'all not here to hear me complain about that. But that's to this day breaks my heart. Turles, or Thales. Why was he called Thales? If y'all know, I never understood why sometimes he was called Thales. Maybe that's his name in another translation or dub or what have you. You have Final Form Cooler, which was $80 on our initial release, but we'll come back to that because there was another release where he was on Premium Bandai, and he's a little bit more. Oh, right here. Fair enough. So the 40th anniversary Dragon Ball survey or what have you, they did another survey for figures that they asked us that we wanted to see re-release, and here are the two characters that won. You have Cooler, of course, $90. As you can see, the original price was $80 for the original retail. But for the 40th anniversary, which you can see the stand that they both him and Broly respectively are standing on, both got $90. Of course, before shipping and handling and taxes and all that. Here, once again, King Cold, $150. So you could imagine the price increase on that. Yamcha, $65. Android, $20, $70. Or Dr. Drill, $70. Android 19, $70. So once again, just points of reference. And then the Daima stuff. So Daima Super Saiyan Goku. This could have just been, I don't understand why that release even needed a Super Saiyan. Like, they could have just literally packaged in the Super Saiyan head sculpt and the faces into the base form and then charged a little bit more for that. King Goma 75 makes absolutely no sense. 60 for Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Mini, 70 for Goku Mini. All of these arguably are overpriced, but the most egregious ones, of course, are King Goma, Vegeta, and Mini Goku Super Saiyan 4. But you know, some are less egregious than others. Is that it? Nope. So these are some stuff. This is some stuff that came out in the past that was on Premium Bandai. Lab Coat Android 21. They did do, like, you know, the Majin version of her, but I'm not sure what type of release that was. I'll have it pop up on the screen, a picture of her. Shallot and Giblet, once again, two things that I was looking forward to ever being made, and they were overpriced on the retail releases, overpriced. So you could imagine the other releases and whatnot. And these two, last I checked, were on Big Bad as well, but I forgot to cover that. And also, I just wanted to make this video not as long as it could be, or shorten the video up rather. But you know, I go on my little spills and I start yapping. And then Clone Goku 38, that's probably the most reasonably priced one. Definitely a fair price. And that does it for the Premium Bandai exclusive stuff. Now, as I mentioned, some of the stuff that we'll cover in the next, well, we'll just get into it in the next portion. Moving right along. So, we'll be getting into now is the event exclusive stuff, or the basically Comic-Con exclusive stuff. But they have later changed it to event. I think I said that earlier on in the video. Sometimes I do a bunch of takes, and then in some of the takes I forget what I said in what take. But y'all get the picture. So, 2020 event exclusives. I'm not going any further back than that. Android 17, 1850. Ultra Instinct Omen or Sign 60. Event exclusives for 2021. And by the way, this is specifically, these were San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Now, for this, 50 for like the color, premium color Beerus, Whis, and Nappa. No, Nappa is 70, but the Beerus, Whis, and Nappa were event exclusives for SDCC. The Kaioken Blue Goku was an event exclusive at NYCC. So New York City Comic Con was the Blue Kaioken Goku. The other three were San Diego Comic Con exclusives. Moving right along, 2022. Android 16, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, a metallic colored Shenron, and Fat Boo, which is, they have that as a general release now. So I don't think there's even a reason, unless you want like shiny yellow gloves and boots, to even really hunt that down. But or if you're the completionist. But either way, those four were SDCC San Diego Comic-Con exclusives for 2022. The Broly was a exclusive for New York City Comic-Con. Now for 2023, we have Super Saiyan Goku and Gohan, the father-son duo. I would say just wait for them to redo that, because I think they will later on. In terms of the main Dragon Ball story, Dragon Ball Z story, we're in the Android era, so you're gonna see a lot of Android releases. Hence why we saw the Super 13. But that was $90, which was actually very fairly priced for a 2-pack. That was the first 2-pack that we saw in the Dragon Ball action figure line back in 2023. Majin Vegeta, I don't see them doing Majin Vegeta anytime soon. However, when I do my Newbies Guide, the third party, y'all could check that out. What you call it? You'll you'll have options there is what I'm trying to say. For Raditz, this Raditz is a little bit more expensive. It came with like a little Gohan statue of him headbutting, you know, so you can have him headbutting Raditz. The difference between this Raditz and the other Raditz that we briefly covered in the premium Bandai section is that this is the manga colors. So the brown, I believe, is a little more brighter, and the Scouter, instead of being green, is blue. Now we're getting closer to the present. Event exclusives for 2024. So the Goku and Gohan, the Dragon Ball Super Trunks, and the Final Battle Jiren, which initially did have like a general release. So $100 for the Goku and the Gohan, the Trunks and the Jiren $75, and then for NYCC in 2024, Vegito Blue was the exclusive at $90. Definitely overpriced, but once again, if you're interested in any of these, then you can, you know, weigh. You could weigh how much. Like I said, it's a point of reference. Y'all get what I'm saying. And last but certainly not least, we have the event exclusives for last year. Gohan Beast. Now this Gohan Beast didn't come with the special beam cannon effect, but he did come with the aura effect, and he had a pearlescent paint job. Here with the Evil King Piccolo, Demon King Piccolo. It was, of course, the manga colors, and he came with the chair, which the original release didn't come with. The Grade 8 Vegeta, it had been a long time, so I guess they decided to make it a con exclusive. I think the initial release was just a retail product, aka a general release. I may or may not have covered that in my last video. And then, of course, we have the Fusion Reborn Gogeta. Now, this Gogeta is interesting. It's based off of the Dragon Ball Super Broly Gogeta that Tamashii released. At least the sculpt is. It's had some minor tweaks here and there. But this Gogeta, I can see a lot of people wanting to get. And I would tell you just hold out or wait for my third-party Newbies guide, because there's definitely a lot of Gogetas made by third-party. And if you're wondering, this guy keeps on mentioning third-party. What is that? So these companies that don't have the official license take it upon themselves to make some of these very popular characters, and depending on who you ask, some people will say, you know, the quality isn't as good, depending on the company actually, and then some people will say the quality is better than, you know, the official stuff, depending on the company, of course. And also depends on who you ask and their experiences. But that does it for the event exclusives. We have one more set of exclusives, and then we're gonna close the video out. Okay, so now the exclusives that you see here are store exclusives, which just reminded me I'm gonna have to, it's a set of pictures I was supposed to make that I didn't make, or a collage I didn't make that goes in this section that I didn't make. But either way, maybe I'll just have them pop up as images on the screen. But we have Kid Goku, which was it was like Innocent Challenger or Innocent something, I forget the name of it. You have the Ultra Instinct Goku, which is the store exclusive Goku. I plan to review that in the near future. Same thing with this title screen Goku, which is, as I said, Goku turning Super Saiyan from the title screen. I think I'll have the specific names for these pop up on the screen. But as you can see, definitely kind of in the mid-range. This is specifically Tamashii store exclusive. My bad. That was a very important detail. Tamashii store exclusive figures right here. There's not a whole lot to say about these. I would say the general I would say appeal to these particular figures is, for me, just the head sculpts. Other than that, you're really getting older molds and whatnot. I'm sure in the future they'll have up some of these store exclusives, not specifically these versions of Goku or a particular character, but they'll have, you know, store exclusive figures with updated molds is what I'm trying to get at. And the most recent exclusives that have taken this action figure, I would say, fandom by storm. We have the Genki Matsuri Goku, which is the manga colors Goku from Namek. And then we have, as I like to call him, Goku with the bonnet. I think they named the product S.H.Figuarts Son Goku Adventure to the Beyond or something like that. I'll have the names pop up on the screen once again. The initial way to get these is, it was really confusing. Okay, so first thing first, I'm gonna go with the manga color Super Saiyan Goku. The only way to get this is at the Genki Matsuri event. Now, if you don't know what event that was, if you've been keeping up with Dragon Ball news in general, you'll know that that's the event where all, you know, the Dragon Ball Super coming back, and then the Dragon Ball Age 1000 news broke. So at that event, you were able to get that figure. If you weren't able to attend that event, they said, you know what? Due to popularity of this character or this version of Goku, we're gonna put him on Premium Bandai, but not our Premium Bandai if you're an English speaker. It was Premium Bandai Japan. And then they said, all right, another way to get this figure is at these pop-up stores that was happening. They had one in New Jersey. I think there was one in Chicago, and I forget the other city. But that's the only way to currently get this figure. I'm hoping that they bring it to the Tamashii store, or at least in the near future, or in the future in general, just have it be on Premium Bandai. It sucks because it's such a great looking, beautiful figure, but I guess it fits the mold of what you would have be some type of rare exclusive, you know, a recolor. And now Goku with the bonnet. Goku with the bonnet scene is some type of V-Jump exclusive. So, you know, Shonen Jump magazine type of collaboration with Figuarts, and it's based off of that Toriyama artwork. I forget what the artwork was done for, but I put 120 question mark because, as I mentioned earlier in the video, in yen, this was 12,000 yen. So, you know, if they do the literal translations yet again, it should be 120, but I already see it up for pre-order much more expensive than that. I seen it on, I think it was Toku Collectibles for like 155. This should do it for all the exclusives. I might have missed something. Don't beat me up if I missed something. I tried to cover as much as I could in this video, and I think I maybe covered more than I should have. But I just wanted to show y'all what was out there, just in case you're like, hey, I watched this guy's Newbie video and this wasn't included. I tried to include as much as I could. And I also just wanted to make y'all privy to the original price points, you know? But with all this being said, this has been Bombastic Plastic. Stay fantastic. If you're new to the channel, thank you for watching. I'm always grateful for the views. And until next time, peace.
One more thing.
Okay, so overtime for both informative videos, kind of crazy work, but either way, Goku with the bonnet, the one that I said might be $120 because I just did the literal conversion. I was informed by my good man Cyrus that is from 80 to 85 retail, which is much better. And I think he ordered his from Amazon Japan. So I guess if that would probably be the place to order it. And it's also like Toku Collectibles. I seen it up on that website, but it's much more expensive. It was like $155. And I believe that's supposed to drop in October. As far as what you see on the screen, I remember I said exclusives, right? And I forgot that these two were technically exclusive. Not even technically, they were exclusives. So the base Goku, Goku the lowest born Saiyan, basically your Saiyan Saga Goku, he was a Target and Walmart exclusive. And then the Kaioken Goku, which is Goku Kaioken 180,000 battle power, I think that was the name of the figure. He was a North American exclusive. So and both of them were, you know, the general release price point. The only thing that sucked is that if you didn't live in a place with a Target or a Walmart, or if you weren't in North America, it might as well have been like a Comic-Con exclusive, truth be told. But, you know, with all that being said, I wouldn't spend a whole lot of money on either of these figures. But if you do find yourself liking these figures, as I always said throughout this video, there goes your base price points, like the original price points. You know, you could take it from there to see how much you're willing to go over those original price points. But with all that being said, this has been Bombastic Plastic. Stay fantastic. Thank you for supporting the previous video, because it's uploaded at the time of me recording this last little portion for this video so I could get it out to you guys. Have a blessed day.
The other daily level.
You know, one of the most disparaging things about making this particular video is realizing that I kept on forgetting things, and this is hopefully the last part of this video because I really want to get it out in the same day as the previous video with the general releases. But here is, I can't believe I forgot this, the special edition 40th anniversary S.H.Figuarts Son Goku and Dragon. Definitely a dope release. This is one of those releases that you'll probably want to leave in the box. Not me though. I want to pose the figure around and I want to take pictures. But if you did leave it in the box, I wouldn't blame you. The retail price for this one I was actually able to pick up from the Tamashii store. Initially, I think it was like some type of, what kind of exclusive was it? Was it like a Shonen Jump or V Jump collaboration, if I'm not mistaken? But either way, I ended up going to the Tamashii store, and you know, I live in New York, so I was able to go to the Tamashii store and pick it up. It was $100, and I'm sure on eBay, and as time goes by, this is gonna be a super expensive piece. So yeah, I guess best of luck trying to get this. Like, all of these is gonna be expensive, but this one in particular, whenever it's some type of anniversary item, y'all already know that it's gonna be expensive. But with all this being said, peace for real this time.